Hi guys, I'm back again with another video. So on this video, guys, we'll be focusing strictly on the yen pairs, right? So something that I've seen and that I know by now that the yen pairs, like the pairs particularly that involve the Japanese yen, they are correlated, right? Meaning that they tend to do the same thing over time, right? But it does not necessarily mean that just because they are positively correlated, when they buy, they all buy at the same time, or when they will sell at the same time. But I was also able to notice as I get more experienced and as I learn more, I could definitely see that they, in as much as they are all in one positively correlated, but there are those that are closely correlated, which is what I'm going to show you now. And then when I'm reaching the end of the video, I'll probably display like all of them all in one chart window. But for now, I will focus on, because like I said, that they are all positively correlated, but I'm going to focus on the most accurate ones, which is pairs, which is single by single pairs that are correlated much positively with each other, and also try to display them all in one. So without any further time, let's get to that. So I'm going to start, for example, with or JPY and NZJPY, because I was able to notice that there is positive correlation between or JPY and NZJPY. Come on. Oh. All right, guys. So as you can see, I'm on a daily time frame right now. So as you can see, guys, I'm on a daily time frame right now. Okay. So I'm just gonna quickly go there because that's where you and then type in there, right? And then do that. So if I can just pull it down a little bit so that you can see clearly, you would see, I don't know, I'm not pretty sure what are the percentages where my cursor is at right now. What do they actually mean? Or maybe it's just point of reference that as to how strong the correlation is, because as you can see, positive. But as I'm telling you, to be quite honest, I'm not sure what those numbers mean. But from what I do know is that I've seen these two pairs that they are closely correlated. That is what I know. I can at least advocate for that, not for the numbers. I don't really know much about what they are signifying. But as you can literally see, guys, here what's going on. You can literally see that the actual chart that we are at is all JPY. And as you can see that corrective type of structure that we have over there, right? So just pay careful attention to that. And then if you look at NZJPY, which is the one that's orange, you can also see that we also have something similar to like that of one that we see on, which is in some type of way they are kind of like consolidating. So please bear with me, guys. I think it's gonna be a little bit messy and stuff because yeah. So I think that's a little bit better. So as you can see, on or JPY, which is the actual chart, which is green and black, you can see that we have that corrective type of movement. Okay, they may not necessarily be like the same exactly, but I think it's obvious to see that at some point these are similar structures. If you can look, pay a careful attention to that. And then if I can just highlight maybe this one, because the chart one is the one that's much more clearer. And then as you can see that we have similar structures, which is that one and that one. And even if we would drag it all the way back, you can also see that what's happening over here. Almost, it's more or less the same exact thing, because look at this, guys, the actual chart, and then look at NZDJPY, what it did after that. So either one of two, which is the other one, might be a leading, might be the leader, and then the other one might be follower. So by that I mean the other one might be following after the other one took the first movement. And then another thing, guys, that I feel like these two pairs are correlated because all the economy, like the Australian economy and the New Zealand economy, are closely related. So it makes a little bit sense why, because they are being compared with one currency, common currency, which is JPY. So it's some point I would like to believe that it is also due to that they are this correlated. You know what I mean? And then as you can see, guys, you can see that we had this type of double bottom type formation. And then also on the orange one, which is NZDJPY, we also have the similar thing. And then the odd JPY impulsed up and then give us a correction. NZDJPY also did that. and then like continuously impulse move correction, then it went to the upside, went to the upside, went to the downside, went to the downside, went to the upside, went to the upside. So this is what I see. So this type of information, guys, the type of information that you can use to your advantage, so that if you want, if for example, because like I said in my previous videos, that for example, if you would want to trade like only yen pairs, you can do that, right? But there are always risks involved, because that means if you're losing those trades, you are almost losing everything in that account. By the same token, when you make money, which is you make money out of all those pairs, right? So it's yours to decide on what to do. But we're just going to drop it on the 4 hours so that you can also see that this is not only evident on the daily time frame, also on the higher time frames. So as you can see, we're on the 4-hour time frame right now, but you can still see similar structures, which is or the JPY, which is the actual green and black chart, went to the upside, right? So you saw that. And then if you can also look again, the orange chart, we also saw NZD-JPY got into the upside. And then after that, we saw this nice correction. And then NZD-JPY also gave a similar structure, which is, they, like I said, guys, they do not have to be the same, like exactly the same. But as you can see that this is a really positive correlation that you can use to your advantage. So you don't have to trade them both, but you can trade the one and use the other one as some sort of a way to reference, which is as a reference, so that you can understand what is most likely to happen on the other one. Because if the other one is not clear, then you can always try to analyze the other one, because it's the one that's going to probably give you a sense of clear indication as to what is going to happen in the right. So I'm just gonna quickly move forward now to another one, which is let me see. So it's USD JPY and GBP JPY. USD JPY. All right, start on the daily and then compare it with GBP JPY. So as you can literally see, guys, now this is beautiful. You can also see as well that they have been moving together up until this type of thing, and then they're currently in a consolidation type of thing. But you remember that I said they do not move exactly the same, because if you look at USD JPY, which is the actual chart, we have a nice impulsive move, but we can't really say the same here, because it more or less looks the same though. More or less looks the same, because as you can see, we consolidated from here, and then when USD JPY started to pick up and go to the upside, GBP JPY, which is the orange one, was also preparing to do the same thing. And then we saw USD JPY impulsing up to the upside. And then GBP JPY didn't really give us that upside momentum with a clear way in or a trend like that of USD JPY. So you'd remember what I recently said, that they're not going to move exactly the same, but the other one is going to be much more clearer than the other one, which will give you some sort of an indication as to how you can treat the other one. Also, which one can you trade out of those two that are very much clearer and closer. So that's also what I wanted to show you guys, the positive correlation between JPY and USD JPY. And then the other one that I also saw that there is a positive correlation is Euro JPY. So if you can just add Euro JPY, you would also see that Euro JPY, in as much as they are all, like all three, they are correlated, but Euro JPY seems to have a positive correlation mostly, which is Euro JPY in this case is the light blue one. So you can see that they are all three are correlated, positively correlated. However, Euro JPY is much more correlated with the GBP JPY than it is with USD JPY. So you can see that they've been closely moving the same with similar structures, which has been type of consolidations, and then went to the upside, and then also the blue went to the upside. So that's also among the JPY pairs, that these three are the ones that are that much correlated, which is GBP JPY is positively correlated with USD JPY, but is more correlated with Euro JPY. So let's move on now, guys, to the last set of correlations. So the last set of correlations among the JPY pairs is CAD JPY and Swiss JPY. Right, so this is Swiss JPY, guys. Okay, And I mean, this is CAD JPY, which is the actual chart. So I'm just going to add now Swiss JPY. So there it is. So as you can see, they are very much correlated as well, because you remember guys that I did say that they are all correlated. As I did say that they are all correlated, but then there are those that share like the closest correlations, because if these numbers are telling us about the correlations that are in there, then it's fair to say that you can easily say that the only difference between these correlations, because they don't move exactly the same, which I'm assuming that this 5% is just maybe a margin or a difference of correlation between the two. Maybe if it was like 25% exactly, then they would move exactly the same. But because they do not move exactly the same, I guess that 5% is due to that. But if you also look at what's happening here, look at Swiss JPY, how it has been keeping up with CAD JPY, because they move almost the same, and then started consolidating. Then the other one started showing signs of moving to the upside, and then the other one followed. So I would say that the Swiss JPY, because with the high percentage, is the leader, and then CAD JPY, it follows up, which is it tracks on what's happening on Swiss JPY. So maybe when you are unclear on CAD JPY, you can always try to analyze Swiss JPY, because it's the one that's going to give you a clear indication as to what will most probably happen on the other pair. Otherwise, you don't have to trade them both, but you can use the other one as a way to a reference, which is that's going to give you an edge or an indication as to what could possibly happen on the other one. So let's quickly just go to the 4-hour time frame. So on the 4-hour time frame, it looks more a little bit beautiful and clearer, because as you can see, we Swiss JPY, which is the orange one, went to the upside nicely, and then went to the upside, and then you see there it started giving us a double top type formation. But you can literally say that CAD JPY is the following one did not react quickly to that, because that's the more clear one. So either one of two happened earlier than the other one. And then if you look at Swiss JPY, it lasted a little bit not longer than CAD JPY, because we are on the CAD JPY chart, and then the orange on Swiss JPY. So as you can see that CAD JPY lasted a little bit longer before actually going to the upside, and then Swiss JPY, and then started forming like similar structures as they went up, as you can also see that. They went to the upside, and then up and down, which is in some sort of a consolidation until it went to the downside. So also the same thing, went down then to the downside. So that's what I wanted to show you guys, which is something that people who trade the JPY pairs can use. But I also wanted to show you the accuracy of that without just trying to make a common video on all of that. So let's just add everything else now, so that you can see them a little bit here. So we have Euro JPY, GBP, versus JPY, Euro JPY. So we don't have NZJPY, USJPY. Yeah. So I know it's a little bit going to be messy, guys, but if you look at what's going on in here, you would see exactly. So this is all the JPY pairs now being displayed all in one chart. So the light blue one is Euro JPY, and then there are, but you can see the colors: green USD JPY, yellow Swiss JPY, JPY, the yellow ones. But you can obviously see that these are similar structures, guys. They may not move the same, but they are most definitely that much correlated. So yeah, guys, that's basically what I wanted to share with you guys. So I hope you use this to your advantage, but for me it was just to share this little piece of knowledge with you all, guys. So if you watched up until the end, I would just like to say thank you. If you have subscribed, thank you as well. If you haven't, please just give me that thumbs button. Also subscribe if you want me to keep doing these videos like this. I will most definitely see you on the next video.